Hey, at Central Valley Business, I'm your host, Steve Walling. My guest for this segment is Rob with Rusti'k Works. Rob, we're going to shake hands in air hand, bump elbows, all this sort of stuff.
Smash.
You know, being aware and social distance and stuff. That's all fine and dandy. People are quarantining themselves in their homes, and they got to sit there and they got to look at those walls they've been looking at for a long time. And gosh, wouldn't it be great to maybe revamp, upgrade that in a very rustic sort of way? That's what you do, Rusti'k Works.
It is. Thanks, Steve. And it's really exciting because I think maybe a lot of this trend started in Texas. I don't know.
Yeah.
A couple out there that run a show called Fixer Upper.
Oh,
I think that's what we see. We see a huge trend of shiplap, wood, barn doors.
That's kind of all old school looking stuff, isn't it?
It is, but
You know,
I don't think wood. And somebody asked me the other day, said, Rob, do you think wood is ever going to go out of fashion or out of style? I told him, I don't think so.
I mean, that's like, do you think breathing's ever going to go out of style?
I don't think so. No, not unless catch something horrible. You don't want to do that.
Wood is an incredible substance. I mean, there's so many different ways we can utilize it, in our homes, building, decorating. You can build a home with wood and cover it up with, plasterboard and all this sort of stuff, or you can build a home with plasterboard and then, accent it with some great wood designs. And we were talking about before we went on camera, the idea that came about, it's been a few years, of taking old pallets. Old pallets, you see them on the side of the road half the time. But the incredible interior design work, the doors that can be made out of them, or walls that can be done, just the sky's the limit on your imagination, and they're all wood items.
Yeah. Steve, that's how this whole thing started for me 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I was invited to come on down to a salon in Temecula. And put up this pallet wall, which I had never heard of.
Yeah.
So ended up putting up this pallet wall, and women would come in and get their hair done, and they would sit in front of that wall and say, oh my goodness, who did this? So I was getting call after call, living up here, driving 4 hours, and putting up all these incredible walls.
And Rob, a pallet wall is a extremely individualized interior architectural, if you will, design. I mean, you can put the boards this way, or you can make designs, and you can do all. The sky's the limit in your imagination with what you can do on a wall with wood. As you cut and design, you can make like parquet. You can make, all sorts of great stuff.
You're absolutely right. Good point. And not only that, but colors. One of the first jobs that I had accomplished, the lady asked me if I could put a little bit of red. She said, well, Rob, that's my accent color is red. So I added a little bit, maybe 5% of red into the board combination on the wall. Unbelievable. The entire room was pulled together because of that accent color. Yeah. So from that point on, I just kept doing that.
Makes you feel good when you can do something.
Oh, it's good. I always tell people, my clients hug us at the end of a job.
Not anymore.
No, they might not today.
Air hugs today.
But they don't do that to the plumber, right? When he puts your toilet in, they don't hug.
Give me a break. That's really. But you've been a general contractor since '91, so you've got a couple years experience under your belt.
Yeah.
But what you've done now is you've taken that and you allowed the artists that you've buried within yourself for all these years to come out. Think about, and I know you do a whole lot more than pallets, but I'm kind of focused on that right now. Pallets are not ubiquitous. There's different kinds of wood that end up in pallets.
Yes.
Colorations of the wood, shapes of the wood, textures of the wood, and all this stuff can be incorporated, or you can take that wood and completely refinish it, smooth it out, and do something incredible with that. So.
Absolutely. I always explain it to my customers as like Beauty and the Beast, right, from Disney. Because think about it for a minute, your homes are already beautiful and perfect. From the crown molding, case base, cabinetry, it's perfect. And then you bring something imperfect and organic, and you blend the two, they just go together well.
They do.
Yeah.
And but let's move off pallets now. What else, what other types of things can you bring into the home to give it that rustic, even possibly, I know this is a little passe, but like that John Wayne look, if you will, that some guys are even in the so-called man cave types of things. But women like that in the living rooms and kitchens and so forth. What else can we do?
And great, Steve. That's a great question, because one of our biggest sellers, and I'm thinking I'm going to get a cowboy hat one of these days because it is John Wayne look. But barn doors, they've absolutely exploded. 3 years ago, you would have been hard-pressed to find a photo online or anywhere of a barn door. You would have seen one outdoors, but nothing interior. So now we've exploded. We make all of our own hardware. We design our own doors. And because everybody's opening is different, we have to start by scratch.
So every door is unique to that.
That size.
And you say you make your own hardware. So you don't go down to standard hardware or whatever and just go through their stuff.
No.
Which means probably that the shape, the texture, the coloration, awesome stuff.
Yeah. It's all custom. And when we start by scratch, we actually add flour and water no, we don't go that far back.
Really? Oh, well,
Put it in the oven.
Yeah.
No, but these barn doors are amazing. And talk about changing the feel of a room. Put a barn door in a room, especially, and I don't know why builders do this today, but a lot of master bedrooms and master bathrooms have no door.
Right.
Shouldn't some things in a relationship remain sacred? I mean, let's put a door there. So
even that in that old Dutch door design where you got a top and a bottom that can swing open, stuff like that.
And we've made quite a few of those as well.
And what about things like counters? In kitchens and stuff, possibly countertops, but the front.
Yes. Very veneering, right? Cabinets. We also, a very, very big market for us is our mantles that go over fireplaces.
Okay, yeah.
So we're able to make them three-sided, so they're hollow. They can slip right over your existing mantle, which is kind of neat, and then it looks like a massive beam that goes over the mantle.
Awesome, and it saves a lot of cost, I am sure.
It does.
Yeah, cool.
You don't need to have that kind of reinforcement when you're actually putting it in place. It slips over.
What about like interior window trim?
We can do that, but you can find companies out there, I think, that do window trim for a lot less expensive than what we can do it for. Another great thing we do are beams in ceilings. And so those turn out fantastic because we have the ability to make them look rustic and rugged, and we can make them as distressed as it looks like it came off a pirate ship.
Don't get personal here.
Personal.
That's great. Do you have some place online where people can go and take a look?
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve. And you can go to Rusti'kWorks.com. That's our website. You can also find us on a social media platform. I heard you earlier in the interview with the lady before that you're not on Instagram. Instagram is one of our largest social platforms. So, and it's Rusti'k with a K _ Works _ on Instagram. You can follow us there. We list daily all of our projects.
Okay.
So they're there to be able to
see and
new ideas.
And so I'm looking at this. I'm at the and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'd like to speak to these people. What happens after I pick up the phone and call you? What's that process?
So usually, if somebody calls me, I come out to their home. It doesn't cost to have me come out and look at their project.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. And then I'll go out, see what they need. Then I'll give them an estimate, and if that is within the budget, then we put it on the board.
Cool.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Great. Yeah. It sounds like you're having a good time.
It's my passion.
It's great when you can take what you've been doing for so many years and morph it down into something that you're very passionate about.
Yes.
And
sometimes
that's what you've done.
Sometimes I can't believe we're actually making money doing this because it's so much fun.
Well, you can always give it away.
That's true. That organization sounded great earlier.
Yeah, there you go. No, that's great, Bob. Thanks for coming in and sharing.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
I think we got some pictures that are. Look at that behind us there.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it took me 10 minutes to put that together. No, you did that. That's awesome.
That was actually a freestanding. They just had a wedding.
That, yeah.
And then we put it back on their wall after they were done.
Awesome. Great.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, that's got to be exciting. And you got a couple of quality craftsmen that work with you. And,
yes, I do.
You put it all together.
Yep, I'm thankful.
Great. So online again, your webpage is
Rusti'k.com, and then you can catch us on Facebook
Right.
and also IG, or that's the modern word, Instagram.
IG.
IG.
See, I learned something.
Yeah.
Thank you. But you also got a phone number.
Yes.
Real old school.
559-556-5418.
There you go. Rob, thanks for being with us. You
Thank you.
thinking about doing something to your home, man and ladies? You can't imagine, because I have seen a lot of the stuff even before I met Rob that people have done with bringing the rustic outdoors, if you will, and outdoor rustic material into the interior of their house in a very creative way, and it just explodes in the awesomeness that you can do. And this guy sitting next to me, he's pretty darn good at doing it, so you might want to give him a call. Rusti'k Works, again, 559-556-5418. Did I get that right?
That's perfect, Steve.
Okay. Get a hold of Rob, Rusti'k Works, and I'll see you when we come back. All right.